So, it's an unpopular opinion when it comes to this gang stalking. And obviously, the people who want to work against a target. But the fact of the matter is that they twist every last little thing that they can possibly twist. Meaning, they will literally incite a reaction out of you out of love, right? So that you're reaching out for love in order to stop a person, say your partner, to get answers to where it'll be like, you like want to grab their wrists, right? Be like, what's going on, right? And at that moment, when normally it would just be like normal reactions would just be like wanting to communicate, they backdraw that code to then rip away from you as far as like standing their guns, as far as you don't get to do this, that type of thing. But it's all in reverse order psychologically, just as it is to suggest that they staged events specifically to then have their proxy relationship establish a no contact order when I was suggested to by the sheriff that delivered me the paperwork saying that you should do you should take out a restraining order against them and put them in the position, like reverse it. But then when you do that and you go to the levels of trying to establish that very paperwork to reverse that order, they don't even allow it. Their hands are tied. You see what I'm saying? And so it's not just a feud then between, say, Brotherhood of Man plus your own bloodline and the proxy made relationships. You see, it's a feud between how you can tie your own organic, original, sound mind, natural accord to the very construct of what happened to you, so that they can play this psychological game, keeping a rat or keeping a hamster within the hamster wheel. Basically, keeping these rats where they're at, as far as being able to psychologically prevent you from getting closure in a way that's literally taking away your availability from being anything more than depressed, anxiety provoked, in reactionary states of mind, where these psychological enchantments inside of their game, inside of a warfare game against its target, is meant to reverse the scripts of who's at fault and who's not. See what I'm saying? So when you're literally trying to take that exposure off so that you have availability for yourself to grow and place the blame where it rightfully belongs on them, the cucks that are willing to work in this psychological operation in the first place. Like, literally, what are they doing to grow here? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so just in their power grab, they just want to dick someone down and literally spin the truth around, because it is cowardice against those that they're targeting. They can't sign a document in UFC fighting. They gotta hack, they gotta hijack, they gotta poison you, they gotta position you, they gotta suggest that they're so loving and they're gonna prop themselves up as they've been so loving the whole time, and they just can't anymore, right? But that's the trick. That's the code that they accepted by the demonic, by the occult, by the trajectory, in order to try and flip the script, because they're literally the same lame fucks as they've always been. And that's the legit truth. Excuse my language, but it's the legit truth. They're the same lame fucks because they were never loving. It's because of an intention that you can't see. It's because of an intention that you can't reason through. You're poisoned, you're pressured, you're dealing with this, that, and the other on the double, triple, quadruple. Also, these trolls can just be the same lame fucks as they've always been. So they're repetitively trying to attack your emotional grounding. You want to establish boundaries. They're going to double cross, triple cross, and do everything that they can to cross your boundaries. And especially when you're getting out of homelessness and getting out of the positions where they had the power grab over your life. They wanted to troll you, manipulate you, psychologically damage you inside of a trauma bond that you're in love with them. You really do love them. They had no love for you whatsoever. So when you come to find out these things, yeah, it's going to get you frustrated, sad, angered, enraged, mad, hurt. You'll want to Aikido it. Like you should. While you're grieving the losses that you thought you had all along, that you never had. That's how these scripts play on the coding that's embedded within the very demonic occult. You see, so they even want to utilize scripture and the gospels as a way to gaslight its targeted individual, suggesting that you don't have the right to speak out against these things. And I understand going to scripture is more powerful than speaking out, but sometimes when a targeted individual is in that placement, you literally can't break out of the framework of the trauma bond that it created. It's hard to explain, but the fact of the matter is that all of the energy that you used in order to show these people that you cared about them, they never had for you. All they ever had was that fake coding that was flipping the script on you. Flipping the script always as if to show and teach people that they were so loving, that they were so supporting, when they never were. So now that you're utilizing that energy, literally, to steal up away from them your time, energy, and resources, they're doing everything inside of their power to flip that coding as if they're the ones that are just choosing to leave you be, right? Their hands are off the wheel, right? To paint the picture for themselves and others to say, see, look, I never had my hands on the wheel in the first place. When the whole time before, their hands were tightly gripped on that wheel, making sure that they could control every last little sentiment inside of your life, so that when you figured it out and you're drawing back your time and energy in that sentiment where it's these people could never leave you be unless they got you in that poisoning, unless they got you to accept food that was poisoned, unless they got you to drink that water or coffee. So that when you were given poisons, and I personally had to reverse the psychology, because if I went to them or if I allowed anybody at all basically to know that this is what I was faced up with, including the people that I could and can and do trust, that conversation that I had per se with someone close to me who I can trust would then have a conversation and a mouthpiece just to bring back to these people, or where their information is being hacked, all of that information goes right back to source, so that you can't get away from these people and steal back your identity, to steal back your autonomy, to steal back your energy. And that's the coding. That's legitimately the coding that's involved within this hijack and them hacking your availability. So now that we're moving to flip the matrix upside down on its own fucking head and rip out its nuts, it doesn't like it at all. Excuse me. It's going to try and steal everything back away from you. It's going to try and prevent you from living inside of your own home. It's going to try and utilize every last little power that it can in order to prevent you and continue going along this energy cycling of that coding that it takes, as well as stealing your information through hacking you, information that you needed for your journaling, for your efforts, just to map out your own moves on the chessboard that they still didn't know that you had the first inclination about how they were moving for a little while. You needed that little time to be able to call them out for their actions, waiting for the proper moment, pretending that you still had love for them, that you didn't know anything. And that's how I had to move to even keep myself alive. And that's why these fucks are so incredibly fucked up. That's why, specifically. Because if I was bringing information back to them like Stockholm, expecting to be able to reach out for their love, come on, please help me out, please. I can't breathe down to the cellular level. They didn't give one fuck about what they did to me. Not ever. Not ever. Because their psychology was now trained inside of the coding, that of a demonic occult, that of a matrix within the matrices that's out here. So it was a simulation the whole time over my life, in my work since I was a kid, in my love life since I was a kid, inside of every little last area that they could control inside of my life. So they could control, literally, and try to control the outcome of me ever finding out. And it's literally how psychologically fucked up they are. That's fucked up. They need to twist everything and contort everything in their favor, thinking about every last little piece that they need in order to keep you poisoned, to where I was playing along after figuring it out and after calling back my time and energy and autonomy, where it would be me accepting a coffee from my own girlfriend. Like, oh, thank you so much. And I'd like pretend to sip it. Oh, that's great coffee. I'd set it in my cup holder and be like, oh, here's a $3 order, one I normally wouldn't take. And I'd accept the order just so I could get out of there and take that coffee. Whoosh, right out the window. So that my energy could do this and start to go up. Not be flatlined, going, oh my gosh, what's going on? Not even having an idea of or a clue of that anything was really even happening to me, because that's how the King of Kings of Poisoning works. At least that's how it worked with me since I was 3, so that my dad can get away with rape and that my brothers could fucking be a fucking shit camp design inside of their own minds, allowing the 13 Illuminati type of families to be able to control that type of behavior within the coding that's being written by script psychologically, by being messed up themselves psychologically through the sexual abuse that they can't even put on their tongues. They can't even suggest it even happened, even though my sister is here. Literally he lied to me. And I said to my brother, I said, you do know that our sister is still alive, right? You do know that she's still alive, right, G? And you're gonna sit there and fucking lie to me? That's how literally fucked up these people are, man. I'm not saying that any one of us are perfect, but what I'm suggesting to is that nobody who is anybody hyper traumatized, hyper sexualized, and in a hyper vigilant place where they can't even have the use of their brains, cognizance, in order to get out of that psychological operation and in order to get out of that spiritual warfare, to where I was playing back to them an hour or two later, calling up my girlfriend. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I don't feel right. You know, like playing off as like that's how it was for me. But then it was like, what, a month, not even later, all of a sudden, like, she's calling me, seeing if it's working. And I have like all my energy and memories coming back to me. Or a lot more of my energy and memories coming back to me. And then it'd be like Jesse calling me, then my brothers who never call me one after another. Literally finding out just to try and get inside of here, get inside of my head. To find out, is that poison working? And that's literally how fucked up their fucking psychology is. Dude, people don't understand the first fucking thing about what I've actually had to go through when it comes to that monstrosity of pain that I felt emotionally, to then have these people trying to fucking physically assault me with the chemical attack, one after another. I don't know what happened when I was in my car, what, like the seventh or eighth time that I was trying to stay out in the cities. I couldn't go back to my girlfriend's house. And I wouldn't go back to my girlfriend's house. And you want to know why? Because I couldn't fucking trust her for anything after that. And nor should anybody in that kind of situation trust somebody who is literally willing to take a bag of money or a bribe or be dick-brained or whatever the fuck it takes for them to play in this role. But I know for myself, it was at least $55,000 and a car. Meanwhile, I was suggesting to the fact of how my teacher, through carpentry school, after my brother left classes with me, and I was in turmoil, and the whole class knew, as far as it being something that hurt me, and being something there, something present that hurt me badly. The only person in the class that I was actually really good friends with all of a sudden has identity theft. I know where it came from now. I didn't know then. But I didn't know a lot of things then. Either way, my teacher says to me, Matt, he held me after class to have a little 5-minute conversation with me about what he thought I should do. And he recommended I get inside of to be a fireman. Go be a fireman. Work yourself up in the community that you're in, so that you can be an inspector of these places. Because right now, currently, people are taking money up underneath the table, left and right, because people are living in squalor, and these owners of these apartments and everything make more money by that high turnover. Get people in and out as fast as you can, and it really doesn't matter what they do to ruin people's lives, and they will, and they do. They let them live in squalor to either run or choose to try and utilize the system that's not going to work for them and not going to work in favor for them. Why is that? Because they are just as corrupt as the next cuck involved in this corruptive, fucked up, evil fucking brains. These people are psychologically fucked up, G. So he suggests that I move in that fashion, and that you could even take that money under the table and act like you're gonna pass the place, and then just don't. But I could see you being the type of person, he said, that wouldn't even take that cash. Telling them to fucking shove that cash right up their ass and do the right thing still. Make less money, have more to fight. I keto it, saying government, you're wrong. Police, you're wrong. Landlords, you're fucking wrong. I'm gonna keto the fuck out of all you bitches. Because you're all psychologically fucked up inside of your corruptive, deep statist, fucking calculated crimes over humanity. And yes, these are crimes against humanity at large. And so when I had that conversation here in my bedroom with who was supposed to be my girlfriend, right? Suggesting this story that you could literally take the cash and do the right thing over my life. That's when she started to think about it. She wanted to throw all of these motherfuckers under the bus and do the right thing. When right after that, like a week later, they must have gotten to her to suggest that she has to continue or it was going to rain down on her head. So you know who I feel the worst for in this situation? Her. Her. I could get killed, all I care. You could Charlie fucking Kirk me, all I give a fuck. But what they did to that fucking woman and what Jesse did to that woman, and they want to connect as if that kind of connection has anything to do with love. Y'all are fucking bullshit ass motherfuckers working a whole different new way of life inside of a whole coding of that psychologically fucked up shit. To take somebody's actual reality of how they could care, how they should be able to care, and ripping it away from them, to code them up as far as being inside of that person's head. And that's exactly what these people did, not only with her, but with other people as well. My ex from Shakopee, for an example, momentarily after the love bombing me, getting me into position, trying to make me go homeless, worse off than I was prior to the homelessness that I'd already been experiencing. I was alone. In that relationship, I was more alone than being alone. Leave me alone. That would be just fantastic. But these people didn't have it within them to leave me alone because of the coding that was so psychologically fucked up from the matrix within the matrices. See what I'm saying? It's as if they needed to completely take over my life in order that I would never have the cognizance in order to figure out the crimes. So now that I figured out the crimes and fucking cops can deflect all they want, you're gutter trash if you can't be a real cop. You're gutter trash if you can't be a real judge. I don't care about these magistrates. They have no fucking honor when it comes to these crimes. None whatsoever. They'll accept money under the table. They'll move in ways like you wouldn't even fucking believe. I'm sure of it. I am 20,000, 300,000%, 9,000,000,000% sure of how dumb these motherfucking cucks are inside of a whole demonic shit camp right inside of their fucked up brains. So this is how these people want to play. And I'm going to continue on here. I just wanted to suggest how literally fucked up I think that is to do that to somebody that could care, that should care, that is being trained not to care because they can't. They're feeling like their hands are tied. And they literally came to tell me about how they felt bad because of just wanting to be able to fit in, and they didn't know that it was going to be, they like basically making me feel like they didn't know it was going to be all like this. They didn't. And you think that they told her? Do you think that they told her, or Emily even, that they had been poisoning me up my whole entire life? No, not at all. The only thing that they would tell these people is the reactions from them poisons. The reactions from being hyper traumatized in a hyper vigilant state of mind without my cognizance of being able to see what was happening to me inside of a covert little shit camp of their shitty coding that they're all fucked up within, right? And that's exactly how these Illuminati fucking members are. That's exactly how these Skull and Bones are. That's exactly how this shit camp works. When you're literally talking about a fucking clown for a father of mine, a fucking clown like a motherfucker. That motherfucker thinking that he's got a heart at all, any kind of cognizance of having any kind of real man's heart or a real man's brains to be able to do what he did when I saw him doing exactly what I've been saying he's done. And then these clowns want to play as if I'm the person that gets to be the common denominator out. And these people can just rule me out like Jesus Christ being hung on the cross by the centurions. Go fuck yourselves. Go take all of your clown gear, all of your fucking corruption, all of your fucking illegitimate blood money, and go fucking shove it up your fucking ass with what you've done to me. Every last one of you. You deserve to pay for your fucking crimes. And I don't even care when and if it happens here. I would like it to happen on this earth because I would like to be a 44-year-old man and finally get to go on with my life. But they won't allow me to my identity. They won't allow me to my integral identity. They're not even allowing me to my identity in the metaphysical realms of, my computer, my phone, things like that. And then especially the government issued identity or my credit. They want to take over every last little part of my life in order to create complete erasure, as if to make my life completely irrelevant. How nice. Cheers to you, clowns. So the first thing that they do is completely lie upon your name, the way that they're utilizing your name to completely underestimate you. And you're out here giving it all, trying to live a whole new life, saying F whatever the fuck that they want to do. Because it's all weak-made cowardice games that they're playing over your life. And it's just sad because all at the same time you come into the relationships with absolute sincerity. You come into relationships with absolute, I want a loving, a wholesome relationship with these people that you loved. These people didn't love you at all. And they never could. They never had it within them, within their own will, to love you. Not ever. So what these people did isn't just heart-wrecking by its design, but it's also exposing them at the same time for exactly who they are and what they meant to do to prevent you from your glow up and your boss up. But this is the fact. My autonomy is mine. I belong to me. I'm not your fucking property, and nobody who is anybody has the right to make anybody else's life their fucking property. I'm not their property, no matter how these lame fucks want to play up in their coding of their delusional fucking shit camp that they're trying to as well project onto me to say that what I'm saying out here in 4,000 videos is delusional. Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself, clown. Maybe you should have gone to clown school the way I fucking suggested you go to. But you don't have it in you to be anything moral or anything of that compass. So go ahead and play these games and manipulate people's lives all you want to. But when they stand up for themselves and they finally speak their piece, that's exactly why these people troll, because they can't stand it. They can't stand the truth about things that they have no idea what they're talking about. So as far as, say for an example, my half brother, and I don't mean any harm. I don't mean any harm like they do. He has no idea what I witnessed. He has none at all. So he wants to go and protect this man just the same way my brothers want to, because they want to hide their whole psychological coding of how fucking fucked up they are by the spirits of the Leviathan, these Python spirits, these spirits of the Delilah, and yes, even Jezebels that can work in that way in men. So yeah, they have serious work to do when it comes to the dark work or the shadow work, with them being a light warrior for Christ. But on top of it, that's why I'm trying to design Heart's work with my dear Lord and Savior, in order to take it out here in a way that's like for hire, to police the police, for hire, that's to police these governmental programs or these mental little shit camps that's not even allowing you to create the family unity anymore, because all that's being sold to you out here is a slavery. Just like Joseph from the Bible, correct me if I'm wrong here, but these people who are hired to perform this type of programming over your life, they came up against the wrong one, because you can literally see them for every last part of their ritual abuse against you, and you now know the whole truth about it and all of it. You have all sorts of memories. Say it's like 7,000 memories. They're not going to be able to deny those memories that you have now flooding you back. Where at first, I was literally pulling over to the side of the road, literally like opening my door, flopping out of the fucking car to crawl to the side of the road, in tears like you wouldn't fucking believe. Like, what a fucking river. And then on top of it, my heart hurt so fucking bad. I was literally on the side of that road throwing up some of the most awful, disgusting shit I've ever seen in my entire life. And you know what I think it was from? Not only being so heart sick and sore, which will obviously just make you just literally more sick than you even could imagine, but it was the poisons. It was everything that they had got inside of my body, and me praying literally in prayer. And this is why it's my testimony, and I need people to understand that, because I'm not praying openly. My prayers are definitely hid in Jesus Christ and locked tight. The testimony is, though, I was praying for all of the things that these people did to me to be released from my body safely, because I felt like if they all came flying out of me, I would have been dead right there on the side of the fucking road. Dead. Just puked out my fucking heart, my lungs, whatever. You want to imagine that kind of fucking pain? I don't think people have the capacity to, because I know I didn't. Maybe you do. Hopefully you do, and hopefully you'll actually cry for me a little bit inside of your own prayer values that you take to the Lord for me, because I need people's prayers. Thank you very much. Because this type of satanic ritual abuse against me, when I'm learning the whole truth about it, they're trying to conceal what they're doing to control every last little piece of my life, to traffic me into this type of slavery. And that is slavery, if you ask me. That is, without a ball and chain, you're in an open-air prison system, and these people are doing everything that they can in order to throw you up underneath the bus, make you the common denominator, calling up your jobs even, and suggesting to your boss and the fucking voice changer, if you keep him on the payroll, really bad things are gonna happen to you, sir. Click. Who's going to keep you on the payroll? Who's going to suggest to themselves, oh, I like this man? Maybe 1 in a million, but good luck being so lucky to work for that guy. I know if it was happening to me, with what's happened to me, I would be like, I like this guy. I'm going to pay him a little bit extra. I'm going to give him a good raise, a really good one. Because I will hear through it. I will see through it. You see? But not all these people out here. They're not going to see through that kind of pain. They hardly have the capacity to capitulate the ideas that these things are even possible. Because that's how the coding is in this world. So I'm just trying to put it out here where it's like the artificial intelligence. I like to say the art over official. It's an art over the official intelligence because it's actually pretty stupid. It's actually pretty stupid. It's being like coded by a bunch of fucking clowns, you know, to like perform in a way. They're creating these fucking psychotic fucking robots. They could be cool. They could be really cool. You know what I mean? These robots, if they're in the right hands of the right people that had the right kind of moral compass. But these people within their coding, within the matrix, they just want to make sure to fucking get that chip in your head or that chip in your hand or whatever they need for their digital fucking controller over a person's life, because it's much like the same thing that these targets are experiencing out here, but it'll be so much easier on a computer when they can just be like, oh, he spoke out against us on Facebook, on Fuckbook, whatever. And then they'll be like, they'll look at your name, they'll be like, oh, okay, so here's his account, we'll just zero that out. And as far as whatever else he has, we'll just stop it. And the, I don't know, the nanobots that they got into our body, we'll just start turning them into sleeper cells so that they just go around your body and start cutting things up inside. And all of a sudden, like 3.5 weeks later, they're like, they got blotches all over their skin. They look like fucking, like an apocalypse, you know, like a zombie apocalypse. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, what's going on with me? Can't eat, you know, they can't eat, they can't buy anything, they can't pay their bills, they can't do this, can't do that, because they're just being erased. Oh, God. Good for you, you dumb fucking clowns that don't think you're gonna be flicked into the lake of fire. Oh, real fun kind of living we're doing out here. If anyone can consider this life that we're living life at all, I'd like to have a real serious conversation with you. Because I don't think that anyone out here with any kind of real moral compass can actually suggest to themselves that we're doing any kind of real living out here. And if you can call anything that you're doing truly living, you want to have a conversation with me about that? Or do you have it within you to have that conversation with me? So anyway, I'm done here. I'm gonna smoke my halfie. I'm gonna go flip my laundry into the dryer, and I'm gonna drink a whole lot more coffee, and I'm gonna continue to create content against all these trolls like Daddy Murden and I don't know, whatever trolls are out here, you know. But they can't have a serious conversation with me. They just need to utilize any little piece of my organic content to steal it, clip it up, copy it, chop it up, utilize AI, trying to say the exact opposite of everything I'm saying on like Johnny Lee's shit can't page and all these people that are trying to protect these 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati's family. So yeah, I totally side with Tupac Shakur with the whole Killuminati. We need to Killuminati the hell out of the Matrix that's out here. And I learned a lot from that man. Granted, I don't agree with some of the ways that he lived his life. I agree with the man's heart that was about fixing the hearts of men, because these people are just clowns. These people are fucked up clowns. I don't care if they want to run with fucking. I don't care what they want to run with. Okay, their psychology is all fucked up. They're coded, mind you, by the trauma that they probably received. They might not even understand. Who knows? They probably got fucking computers in their fucking brains because they signed a document in blood at a dotted line coming from a guy with horns and a cape that and his skin's all red and stuff. Who fucking knows? They like Satan. That's what I'm getting at. They love Satan and they want to suggest that Satan's good and Jesus is bad. Family is bad. It would be really, really super bad if there was like like grandparents, parents, aunts, uncles, cousins, all their children, and like a whole community in a village together living peaceably in a inside of a Jesus fashion, like they wanted to really be in love and establish family and grow vegetables and herbs and stuff, you know, because herbs, hit it, like the seed growing with the sunlight that God gave us. It's just amazing for the bodies. Amazing things. In Ayurvedics, as opposed to the shitty fucking design out here. That's all like, let's mix some naturals with a bunch of chemicals and a bunch of fillers and a bunch of glue. Like, I don't know. Let's give people a bunch of highly toxic metals, shall we? Cheers, buddy. I think you just made it into the Israelite shit camp of Skull and Bones or whatever. You're gonna get paid really well now. Pinky in the brain. Whatever. Stupid fucking reality that we live in because of all these dumb fucking clowns. There's no living going on out here, and if you want to have a conversation with me about it, let's start a podcast. Shall we? Hey, how about all of you trolls out here? Should we start a podcast together? And we can like debate on like in like live in like live format? That would be cool. I'd do it. I'd be willing. I'm down. Cheers. I get to fucking call all you clowns all fucking day long. That would be a great job. They won't let me work anywhere else, so maybe they'll let me do a podcast with them. I'm just kidding. They're not trying to allow me to fucking have a heartbeat, so they don't have the nuts to do a fucking podcast with me. Are you kidding me? They just they would just I don't know what their plans are next, but they're just a bunch of dumb clowns. Pretty much. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Those of you with real human hearts and real human spirits, I really appreciate you making it this far into my content, and as far as all you other dumb cunts. This one's for you.